bit as to why it is essential. And I want to also say this broadcast is coming to you not just to those who are online, but to also tell you that local mobilizations will also begin. Yes, the three reasons I gave before as preconditions before I would be able to say I can join safely is that one, that it is not just mere social media noise. People just making noise on social media is not new. We see it every time. And the second reason or precondition I gave is, oh, if it is not just online, let the people who are agitating for this, let's see them put a face to it. Like before I joined Showore, on his own, he came down from US to Nigeria, and I can say, okay, that this man is serious. Now we can see that faces are there. Now I can put faces to this. And the second condition was that if the Nigerian system responds, you're not going to run away. Now I can see that they are not running away. The third condition is still going to be until 2023, but I don't have to wait for that. If out of three, two have been met, which is first that you take it offline, give it a face, put it on the field. And I can see that there's Professor Akintoye, there's Sunday Igboho locally, and then it's coming out. Then they are putting a face to it, and they are putting physical and visible mobilization to it. I can say that this is serious. It's not just a social media rant. Yeah, so it's real. Then that second, the Nigerian system is about to respond, but they are not running away, and they are ready to face it. Then that means it's real. Then the third one is that if towards 2023 some of them begin to say, oh, let's wait for the election to be over, if it doesn't favor us, we'll resume the agitation. If it favors us, then that is it, we leave the agitation. That is the third condition. Okay, but we may not, it may be too early to get a third condition. I understand that there are so many people, political jobbers, who are being sponsored to infiltrate, because I understand usually it's always mixed. You have the genuine ones, you have the sponsored elements who always join to hijack it. Some people have been sponsored to hijack it so that they can reroute all the agitators towards 2023 political program for the sponsors who are interested in 2023 politics. But I felt we don't have to wait for the third condition because we already can identify them one by one, and if we can begin to put or mobilize more genuine people to flood this campaign and the movement, yes, it will be difficult also for the sponsored political jobbers to railroad everybody into their 2023 game. So it is on that condition I'm saying, okay, the third condition can be varied, and I'm varying it now. But the first two conditions have been met already, which is that the social media agitators are beginning to give faces to it. They are making it visible and taking it offline and bringing it offline. And then the second is that the Nigerian system seems to be responding to them, but they are saying whatever the case, we are still facing you. Okay, that's good. I like that. So that means now I'm beginning to feel safe with this because I don't jump on any campaign. I want to be sure that some people are just not being manipulated. Okay. All right. I have a few clips I want to use, which I feel the first one I'm going to play is to say, okay, before this one, let me start with part of the reasons I feel that all of us already know that they are giving us sense of they are making us, they are depatronizing us, making us feel like we are not citizens or we are not patrons or patriots of this country. And I want to use Inibi Effiong for this. I have 3 clips of Inibi Effiong today, and this is the first one.
If you call for a protest tomorrow, people will begin to look at who is calling it. We have seen this from experience. If you call a protest a mass action against Buhari today, some people will believe, will think you are saying it because it's a northern that is the president. But you can't have change under that climate. But can we?
All right, that's the first clip I wanted you to see, but you heard it. There is ethnic distrust, and that is the message with the first one I just played now. There is so much ethnic distrust, and under that climate, we don't seem to be able to achieve any change. Because whatever anybody does, even if you have a genuine national intent or patriotic intent, some people just bring themselves together, converge themselves together, form a congress and say, oh, it is because it is our man that is in charge. They are trying to form some alliance against our man. So because of that, it's becoming somehow impossible to see this as a genuine thing. So there's ethnic distrust nationally, and as a result, I do not think going forward, uh, you know, we can continue like this. All right, the second point I want to make here is that if we even want to change things, because everybody's already tired of this situation. I always say that there are always two categories in a nation: the the people who are looking for a change because they are tired of the status quo, and the second category are the people who are afraid of what the change will bring, so they want to maintain the status quo regardless of what it continues to bring. But then, if we are all now desirous of change, um, can we achieve it through the ballot? Again, I bring you inhibition.
Achieve that change through the electoral process, it will take a long time. Because even our electoral process is polluted. People vote when they get a cup of gari, bag of rice, stomach infrastructure. 5 naira, 20 naira. You can't achieve change under that platform. So as we are today, my opinion is that the easiest way to change Nigeria is through mass movement.
All right, the third one you're about to see now, hmm, actually, is somebody giving us a precondition about what the political merchants in the present state Nigeria have made Nigeria to be. Although we have tried, we have explored this particular section of the constitution before. It's a clause. Every time they give you a right, they also put a clause to limit the right. Every time they put a right in the constitution, go and study all the sections of the Nigerian 1999 constitution. They will give you a freedom and put a clause that make the right unattainable. And I'm going to make it clear. For instance, you have people who have leadership potentials in Nigeria, but they will not allow them reach that leadership position. They just put a clause. Now, if, for instance, I don't have billions, I've not stolen billions, I don't have the capacity to rule Nigeria as it were, but I know I have the capacity to look to lead my local region, but they now put a clause in the constitution that I do not have the right until I join others who are also not the same with me and who are not interested in the same ideology or goal I have, and who are not even interested in the development of my region, but just want resources and corrupt enrichment of individual selves. How do I do it? Now, listen to Omolara. This is section 222 subsection F of the 1999, I don't want to use the word fraudulent, Constitution of Nigeria. But Omolara Ogunlano is here to talk about it. Just pay attention and listen to this.
The rich are not ready to give out the power, and that is why some of those things that will not allow them to hand over the power are hidden in that book called Constitution. The Constitution had always been used to tie us down. The reason for the conscious role that was hidden in the nation's constitution, that political parties must have their head offices at the heart of the nation, Abuja. Section 222, subsection F. So long we still have that section in the constitution of Nigeria, my brothers and sisters, for anyone, many of us that are not billionaires, that have not stolen money from whatever corner, to come up and say, I want to become a governor, I want to become a senator, I want to become the president. If we cannot have those small political parties that can rule this kind of environment that we have, if I cannot rule my own environment with that kind of clause in that constitution, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó easy. I pray it will be easy for us. And that is why the civil societies, the labor forces, those of us that are enlightened, we should be ready to attack that part of the constitution. And I believe that once we continue to hammer it, once we continue to attack it, that section will be expunged.
Well, I do not believe any section can be expunged in the interest of the masses, because it is not the first time. I attended Wole Soyinka Citizens Forums a few occasions. I at the ALF, that is all Nigerian Leadership Forum or something, where they were talking about a new Nigeria is possible. And I also am aware of the Anthony Enahoro-led Constitutional Reform Conference. I'm also aware of Sovereign National Conference being led all in the past, and the new Citizens Draft Constitution. Nothing is going to be considered in the interest of Nigeria. As far as I am somewhere in Inewi, but they must hear my voice in Abuja. People who are only interested in themselves, who will just look at it and say Shegun is speaking from Inewi, or Uchi is talking from Inewi. Leave that one. And Shegun is talking. Another Mosomola is talking from somewhere close to the border, Ota, Ogun State. I'm gonna leave that one. Is in Ota, far away. As far as those conditions are still there, excuse me, whatever we speak, they are waiting for all of us to unite and speak about every issue in agreement before they can do it. Otherwise, they are not interested. Did you see the Deputy Speaker of the House of National Assembly the other day telling Nigerians in diaspora that as far as you don't also live here, but they are interested in your remittances, they are not interested in your concerns about the country and your families living therein. But does that give you concern? It simply means that all this bunch of people we have there, they are not there because of us. Therefore, if we unbundle the country, maybe, just maybe, we might be able to start, mobilizing ourselves without feeling it's too complex to mobilize to Abuja to go and face federal government. Because at the end of the day, state governments have taken their allocations and powers away from the local government. Federal government has also taken power away from the state government. So we all need 240 million people to face Abuja. How is that possible? Especially in this poverty prevalent condition. Who can even have the money to charter plane to mobilize some people to go and face Abuja? Even if you face Abuja, is the mannequin there able to attend to you? They will only face you with soldiers. Even if you want to do that by road because you don't have money to charter planes or flights for everybody, do you know what is happening along the road? Bandits, kidnappers have taken over the highways. So what are we talking about? They have simply put all these clauses there to make it impossible for citizens mobilization. So how about we unbundle the country at this point in time and let us be able to face Abeokuta, Lagos, Ekiti, because it is still within our reach, and address our leadership issues in smaller quantities that we can break them into. That's my belief at this point. Yes, but the reason I was a little skeptical about these agitators is how sincere are they? Are they also being used because they know they want to leverage on the feelings and emotions of the mass of people? Which is why I said, let me give 3 conditions. 2 of them have been met. Okay, I may not be able to wait for the 3rd one, but we may begin to lay foundation for joining alongside. Gentlemen and ladies, it is very important that at this point, even though there are so many paid political jobbers on this agitation trying to reroute us towards 2023, but if we have more genuine people also dragging with them, we will hijack it from them back. And that's why I am convinced, and I want to start local mobilizations too for people. Let everybody be able to govern themselves according to their locality, according to their status, and according to their regions, without some constitutional clauses. Are you aware that the constitution will give you right to freedom of movement and still put a clause to limit the movement? Right to freedom of expression and still put a clause to limit the expression? Right to freedom of this and that and still put a clause. But we are not able to address all these clauses because, I don't want to use the word motherfucker, the people you put there are not interested in the masses, they are interested in themselves. Are you aware as we speak right now? While the civil servants who are working their ass out every 247 are not well paid, and their allowance, and including even their retirement benefits, are not paid, governors are interested in paying themselves 10 times bonus allowances upon retirement just for working 4 years or 8 years. Whereas civil servants will work 35 years, some will retire as old as 66 years old. Even some use what you call football age just to be able to get to the civil service, and at the end of the day they still don't want to pay them. So why are we going where we are going? Are we headed somewhere at all? Does it make sense to anybody? Gentlemen and ladies, I want to close now, but I want to leave you with this particular one from Inibe Effiong. And this is to answer questions from people who are asking Shegun, but the people leading this agitation, are they exposed? Are they educated and all that? And I want to say this while I leave with this last one. Gentlemen and ladies, we cannot be too academic about our freedom and liberation because the academia has also been polluted. If illiterates, if illiterates are the ones paying professors, and the professors too are doing the bidding of the illiterates, where are we? Why are we here? Gentlemen and ladies, it is very important. It is very important that we cannot be too academic about our problems. If you carry placards writing flowery words, witty statements, and you are going to confront some abokis who are given guns, who don't even understand how to read what you wrote on your placards, what sense does that make? We can't be too academic about our freedom. Yes, we need to marshal it. Initially, I said it that I wanted to see how we can we can rally people around logical reason to start this agitation. I don't believe that herdsmen crisis or insecurity is enough reason. Yes, it is a national issue. But if you can find other constitutional, logical, and factual reasons or regional reasons to do all this, then it makes more sense. If governors by themselves are already clamoring that they are tired and they want restructuring because they don't even have enough resources and they don't even have power under exclusive arrangements to do the things that are local to them, then there are too many excuses for development to occur in states and regions. If governor is telling you I can't do anything about it, it's not in my power, it is under exclusive list to the federal government, that tells you something. And you need that development locally. Are you waiting for a mannequin who has not even woken up by 6 p.m.? Wakes up by 6 p.m. only goes to wakes up by 5 p.m. only goes to Juma service in at the National Mosque and goes back home. Is that what you are waiting for? We can't continue to wait for that. Apart from Buhari, we have too many politicians who have been unpicked by many big people and put in places, and they are not responsible to anybody because they are only responsible to their godfathers who put them in power. Gentlemen and ladies, if we unbundle it, it will be easy to confront. Because at this point, it's not easy for an average Nigerian to confront the presidency in Abuja when they want to address issues that are local and native to them. It is at this point I am saying, gentlemen and ladies, it's time to start. I've already started local mobilization. I'm just announcing this for the first time. All right, we already started. Some of you who have been following and have been calling privately already know this. So we have to start a full-blown local mobilization of our people. I'm only interested in the genuineness of those people who we think are leading these things. Otherwise, I'm going to expose them when the time comes and they want to chicken out. We will not take this from anybody. Gentlemen and ladies, yes, it's time. Let me do it. I leave you with Inibe Effiong. And this is those who are asking me, Sunday Igboho. I say, well, I now found the things forming up. Like I find Professor Banji Akintoye now giving another ethnic, they call them trap ethnics, speaking on behalf of themselves that they want to navigate their ways out of the contraption called Nigeria. Okay, so I now find it logical. So when you say expiration of amalgamation, 1949 amalgamation document has expired, that is logical. I can rally people around that. If you say, oh, we need to begin to be able to influence politics, and the exclusive list is taking it away from those we can influence locally, that's another logical reason. I've listed up to 5 reasons for which I can begin to influence people locally and mobilize them around this cause. So it is at this point I want to say, yes, we welcome the combatants to it. Okay, all right. So Inibe Effiong put it in it because some of you who have been following me for long know that I usually organize symposium, what we call Circle Friends, every of my birthday. It was at this particular event, and they asked Inibe Effiong, my brother in the legal sector, pen is mightier than sword. Do you still believe in this? And this is the answer he gave. And those of you who are asking, Oh, Shegu, we have been trying to send you simple support for your data and for your transport and all that, but we are not able to do it. Keep trying. I'll put the account on to be scrolling on the screen. To be on the screen, I'll stick it on the screen while you're watching this answer by NBFM. Pay attention is very important to this particular one. I sign out. Shegun Law.
Pen is mightier than sword. Do you still believe in that statement?
The pen is mighty. The sword is also mighty. We don't need to use the sword to do what we can do with pen. But if pen refuses to achieve what sword should do, let us use sword. Where we have found ourselves as a nation, we cannot just sit down and begin to write. Most of us here are writers. We've used writing to achieve a lot. But beyond writing, something revolutionary has to happen. Whether it to be bloody, whether it to be bloodless, there has to be a revolution. So, I refuse to answer that question the way you want me to. But I have given you my own answer. If you can't do it with pen, why should you overrule the sword? Both are instruments of change. Let the circumstance determine. It was Martin Luther who said, it is the oppressor that determines the